Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today I'm just going to have a little chit chat with everybody, give you guys some updates, ask you some questions, the fun stuff, the good stuff, the usual stuff. Every so often I do this. I, I'll be honest, I don't particularly like making stuff like this. Especially I feel like at this point in time in the season it's a little odd, but I just got some things I want to talk about, so I figured I would just just talk a bit and see where everything's at. So first, I just want to thank everybody for all of the support on stuff recently. I have been incredibly blown away by the support I've been getting recently on a lot of the videos. Obviously, the views are, all things considered, pretty small. It's a pretty low number of views, but I'm happy with it. I'm happy with what I'm putting out, and I'm always obviously trying to grow and improve upon and continue kind of making better stuff. And so I'm hoping that that is reflecting in what I am putting out every week, because I think that I've definitely grown a lot from where I was last season, and in 2019 as well. I've definitely done a lot to kind of improve what I've been doing, and I think that this is kind of the best stuff I've been putting out so far. I'm really happy with a lot of what I've been putting out. I've been happy with some of the feedback, and it's always nice just for me to kind of gauge what people like, what people don't like. I can definitely tell that the big things that people enjoy are the picks, and that's really the thing that most people really like, and recaps as well do decently well. Um, but it's definitely the really kind of match focused content that people seem to like a lot, which is cool. Those are the things I like making a lot. I like making a lot of team based stuff as well. I love when I do the off season roster breakdown videos. Those are some of my favorites to make. So those types of things that just seeing what people like and what people don't like is definitely something that I am interested in seeing more of. So that's a big part of kind of what I wanted to talk about today. The season is coming to a close quite quickly. It feels like this season has just flown by so far. We're already 75. I guess we're almost 75% of the way through the regular season. Then of course there's playoffs, but the regular season we're 75% of the way through. Just about by the end of this weekend, we will be 75% of the way through. So it has been a wild ride so far. It's been super up and down. I think that the season started really strong. I think that the last 2 months, they've had some really good moments, but I feel like these monthly tournaments are just getting kind of soured a bit by the dominance of Shanghai and Dallas. It's just far less enjoyable when the same teams are really really good all the time. So I'm hoping for the Countdown Cup we get something different, but I I guess we'll see um, when we get there. But with the season kind of coming to a close soon, and with us kind of getting closer and closer, I just wanted to kind of gauge interest in the types of things that people want to see as we move into the off season. Last year, that was a huge, difficult thing for me. There came a point in time, if some of you may remember if you've been around long enough, there was a point where I just kind of stopped uploading for a while, and the main reason why was just because I didn't really have things that I wanted to talk about. I didn't really know what I wanted to talk about, and then also there were a couple of external factors that contributed to it. So it wasn't just a one um, issue that I couldn't get over. There were multiple things, but it's been a problem in seasons past as well, where when the season's not going on, it's very difficult to kind of have stuff to talk about when the season's not going on. I don't like to talk so in depth about all of the teams every time they make a move, because it's kind of, in my opinion, it's kind of a waste of time to talk about, let's jump back to this off season, for example, right? not all teams like drop their whole roster at one time, right? Like Florida did, but not all teams do. So when you have a team like Dallas who like kind of piecemealed their roster announcement, they knew we knew Delha was returning, and then they were like, okay, Hanbin's joining the team, and Sparkle's joining the team. Rushes are going to be our coach, and then they were like Fielder, Rappel, and then it was kind of dry for a little bit, for a couple of weeks or whatever. Then they're like, okay, and Fearless is joining the team, and it's like, oh, this team's looking really good, but there's still no main support or hitscan DPS, and they're like, okay, and Jex is joining the team. Okay, and now Xe is joining the team. Like it was just kind of like slow rollout of things, and so when you talk about that, it's the type of thing where you're just going to keep rehashing the same points. So for me, I just like to kind of wait for all of the rosters to be together before I start talking about the teams themselves. So that's why I don't want to do that in the off season, but I obviously want to keep making content and I keep wanting to make stuff and putting stuff out. And so I'm just kind of hoping to get some interest uploading this one, what types of things people want to see in the off season. I know there's a lot of different things that the other creators do. I mean, like ATP is somebody who I think I'm in the same kind of like sphere as, obviously. I think he puts out a lot of great stuff. I've definitely taken some inspiration from some of his stuff. And there's some videos of his, some that I think are really fantastic ideas that I've considered doing my own spin on. But I'm a little hesitant to do that because it feels very much like I'm just kind of stealing someone's ideas, and I like to kind of come up with my own stuff and make everything that I make very kind of unique. I try to put my own spin on things, and so I'm kind of trying to figure out what types of things I want to make. But I'd be curious if there are types of videos that people want in the future, and some of them could be very different, right? Some of them could be completely like out of left field based on what I normally make, right? Like a lot of the things that I put out, right, are not necessarily like heavily edited, but like they're clearly like I record the audio, I put gameplay over it, but then you have stuff like when I do my tournament picks videos, I just capture screen, do stuff like that, so obviously some stuff can be a lot more casual than other stuff that I upload. Everything I upload is pretty casual, I'm not gonna lie to you. Let's be real here. I'm not the most I'm not the most professional of people, but that's just, I think there's a world for all sides of it. But I kind of like a lot of that, just kind of like unscripted, giving my thoughts and opinions on things. So that's always something. If there's certain topics in the game you want to see me talk about, whether it be the pro side of things or outside of it, I'm hoping, right? I'm hoping that there will be a lot more Overwatch 2 news coming in the remainder of the year, so that I have more of that stuff to talk about. So it is easier to find things to put up and to have videos on, because my channel is primarily dedicated to the Overwatch League, because that is the majority of what is going on right now, and it's the majority of what I'm consuming in terms of Overwatch. I don't watch Overwatch streamers. I don't watch anything like that, and I used to do more news based stuff, but news has been very slow, which is a big part of why I stopped doing that. But also I didn't really enjoy it as much as I once did. And I'm not going to get into like streamer drama or anything like that, because that is just not what I want to do. But I do like making things that are non Overwatch League related, obviously. Every time there's a new event that comes out, I always record me looking at all the new like skins and stuff. I like videos like that. And I mean, was it last month? I think, yeah, back in June, I put out a video where I talked about the characters in the Overwatch lore that I want to see as heroes in Overwatch 2. Like, I loved making that video. It's one of my favorite types of videos to make. It's definitely far different from what other people would do. My editing style is very much like casual, just me like talking, just kind of expressing my opinions on things and sharing with you kind of my thoughts and feelings on stuff without kind of having this really like strong editing in the background, because I kind of like to liken what I do to more of a podcast or a radio type of thing where you don't need to see what's going on to understand it. But some stuff, obviously, there is a visual element to it, but it's something that I will explain over time anyway, just because it makes things easier. But when the only place I'm uploading it is on YouTube, it makes a lot of sense. But I digress. So there's been a lot of kind of things going on with the Overwatch League that I think are really interesting, and of course the season is really interesting. So obviously, as we get to the end of the season, I'm going to reflect a lot on what we've seen. Obviously, power rankings are going to continue going on. There will be one after the Summer Showdown, so that'll come out probably late next week or early the following week, or a combination of both. I haven't quite decided yet. And then I won't do a power rankings. No, I probably will do a power rankings after the Countdown Cup. And then I'll also do one after the playoffs. But I might just do the post-playoff power rankings on just the playoff teams. I haven't quite decided. And if I do that, it'll probably just be one video because there would be less teams. But, sometimes I just kind of wait until... It always depends on how long it is. Who knows? We'll see. It always is subject to change based on what we have seen when things are going on. That's kind of what's running through my head right now. But I really just kind of want to ask what you all out there want to see, what types of things you would like to see going on in the future. I'm hoping, little teaser right here, I'm hoping in the future, and hopefully the not too far future, to get into streaming. My current computer can handle streaming, but it's not the most ideal streaming setup for anything. So it's something that I'm hoping to start getting into when the season ends, hopefully, maybe a little more, and stream some stuff. I probably wouldn't be streaming Overwatch, just a heads up, just to make sure expectations are set. Because Overwatch isn't a game that I have any interest in streaming. I'd probably stream more like single player stuff, just stuff I tend to enjoy more. Hopefully get through some of my backlog of games, which is just massive. So that would be a good way for me to do that, set aside time, and do stuff like that. And obviously I'm just looking for any ways to kind of keep the Overwatch content as well going on this side of the stuff with YouTube. So it's always interesting. It's always fun to kind of have stuff going out. But I really am excited for the end of this season. And so I'm hoping that when it's all said and done, I'll have some cool stuff that I can think up. But definitely want to hear from you, some of your thoughts, feelings, opinions, whatever, on the type of stuff you'd like to see. Maybe that'll inspire me a little bit, make sure that I kind of have an idea of what I want to do, types of things I want to make. There's obviously always the possibility that I cut down from 3 videos a week to 1 or 2 videos a week, just to kind of balance the kind of way that the amount of Overwatch League based content is changing. But obviously if I do that, hopefully there'll be more streaming and stuff I can do to make it all better. But we'll see. Who knows what's going to happen. But that's all I'm going to have for this one. So thank you for watching, for sticking around, for all the support recently. It's all been very, very nice. And I'm thankful for all of you who continue to watch this silly little channel where I do silly little things and talk about a silly little game called Overwatch. But yeah, that's all for me. So comment down below anything, if there's anything I talked about that you have a thought on. Hopefully some video ideas, something like that will be cool. But that's all from me. So thank you once again. Please consider liking and subscribing, as it helps out a lot. Hoping I would love to hit 400 as soon as possible. I don't think I'll hit it by the end of the year. I definitely want to hit 300 by the end of the year, which I definitely think is doable. But any support helps. So thank you. I hope you're all staying safe. I hope you're all staying healthy. Get the dang vaccine. And until next time, bye-bye.